Okay, so this is my 2002 Toyota Tacoma 6-cylinder pre-runner TRD off-road. I bought this vehicle in 2002 and I've been driving it for over 20 years. It's got the 3.4 liter. It's the 5VZ-FE engine. It makes 190 horsepower. I think the torque was like 210. And just wanted to do a very long-term review on this. This year was the first year that I had to do any kind of major repairs on this truck. The only thing that I've done in the previous 19 years is batteries, tires, oil changes, and air filters. That's pretty much it. This year I had to do a valve cover gasket, which was leaking just a little bit, and I just wanted to get that done. It wasn't leaking real bad. The radiator, the original stock radiator, got a little bit of a leak in the top, so I had a new radiator put in. The timing belt was done at 73,000, which was probably a little premature for this engine. It's now got 160,000 on it, so I don't put a lot of miles on it. The first, I'd say 10 or 12 years that I owned this vehicle, I only drove it like 2 miles to work, so I didn't put a lot of mileage on the vehicle. This year we also I did shocks and struts this year. Had to replace the drums on the rear brake, and I just did this not even a year ago, and the factory ones never rusted like this. The aftermarket ones, like within 2 weeks, they started rusting up. Also this year I had to do a new did the catalytic converter, but the rest of the system of the plumbing is all still stock. I couldn't believe that the catalytic converter went 21 years without any issues. But these vehicles are they're a tool. They don't break. They do what they're supposed to do, and they're not great, flashy, or fancy, but they don't let you down. And man, you build a vehicle like this, people they know how good they are, and I'm going on 20 years. I'm gonna tell you how good Toyotas are. Always changed oil. I broke it in with conventional. Always change oil at 3,000 miles, and I always use Mobil 1 and Mobil 1 filters. And no matter what your vehicle says, these new vehicles sometimes will tell you can go 5,000–6,000 miles. If you want your vehicle to last a long time, change your oil every 3,000 miles. So what else have I done? God, I don't even know how many batteries I put in this, how many oil changes I've done, how many air filters. But it's just no issues. Just the thing runs. And it wasn't until last year that I saw my first check engine light, and it was just a sensor. The dash is pretty plain. You can't see the clock when you're driving, so I've added one here. It does have the rear lock and diff, which is nice that you can lock in both wheels. Now you can only use that up to about, I think, 10 miles an hour, and it makes it very hard to steer when you do have it in. But you know, I keep it clean. I try and keep it nice. Always put seat covers in, since I think this is the third set of seat covers that I've put in this vehicle. But nothing fancy, you know. There's no, hell, it's still got a tape deck in it. It's got tape deck and a CD player. You know, you got a little bit of storage behind the seat, but not much. Not crazy about having the bed liner. Well, I wouldn't even want to see what's underneath of this. If I did one again, I'd do a spray on. But of course, when I bought this truck, we didn't have spray on bed liners. A little bit of a mark here. I had some guy try and hit me head on. He fell asleep at the wheel with his family. Came into my lane. I had to go into somebody's front yard, and the only thing, I thought I had completely missed him, but his rear view mirror got me just as he went by. And yeah, that was some kind of scene. The tailgate's rub at the bottom, you get a little bit of rust here. The bumper's rusting a little bit. But you know, 21 years. The stock tires, stock rims, I just plastic dipped them black because I just like the way the black looked. Definitely would not have this on any other vehicle again because you can see that's falling apart. But I just got done washing it and waxing it today. I've always used Colonite. Never used anything but Colonite insulator wax. It's easy to put on, easy to take off. It lasts about 6 to 8 months. And this truck has never been in a garage. It's been outside its whole life. And as you can see, it still looks fairly good. So, you know, Toyota's coming out with a new truck in 24. It's going to have a turbo in it. Not a fan of the turbos. I get why they're doing it. They're trying to boost the torque and increase the miles per gallon. I'm a fan of the naturally aspirated Toyota engines. I think the only vehicle that still has it is the 4Runner. But so this one is going to be pretty soon. I'm going to be doing something with this because it's getting a little long in the tooth for me. It's served me well. Just, man, what a great vehicle this has been. I put a remote start in it 20 years ago when I got it, and I've had no issues with that either. I put some fog lights on it because this is the second set of headlight covers. The stock ones that came with the truck glazed over after about 12-15 years. So I went and bought cheap replacements online, and they only lasted a couple years, and they've since glazed over too. And I've tried to bring them back with the kits that they sell, but it never seems to work real well. So, but yeah, I mean, I hope Toyota continues building their vehicles to the standards that they have in the past, because, you know, people really appreciate it. You know, that you don't have issues, you don't have recalls, you don't have things breaking down. You know, it's like I said, it's a tool. You get it, it does what it's supposed to do. You know, this one's not fancy, doesn't have any gadgets or gizmos in it or anything, but it's just always really treated me well. It's still got the stock charge for the AC after 20 years, and it still blows ice cold. But I don't know what else to say about it. They're just great vehicles. You know, and for me, it fits the bill. I wish the bed was a little bit longer. I run kayaks. You know, the kayaks stick out. I also have dirt bikes in here once in a while. You can't close the tailgate with a dirt bike in the back, so a 6-foot bed would probably suit me better than this. But when I bought this truck, I think this was, if it wasn't the first year they came out with a double cab, it was the second, because nobody had a double cab. Toyota was the first one to come out, and when I saw this, I was like, wow, what a novel idea to have 4 doors and 4 seats with the possibility to put 5 people in a pickup. You know, that was just unheard of back in 2002 when I bought this truck. And when I even bought this truck, I think it was $23,000. I think I paid for this back in 2002. And yeah, they're fantastic trucks, and that's why their resale value is so high. This truck's got 160,000 on it now, and in my area, it still pulls. It'll still go for 10 grand. You know, to get back almost half of what I paid for it 20 years later. I mean, that's like unbelievable. So as far as, yeah, like engines, I try and keep the engine area clean. Every once in a while, I'll spray it down and hose it off, and you know, I'm sure my mechanic appreciates that, although he doesn't see this truck very much. Like I said, this year was the first year that I've had to really start replacing stuff, just wear and tear items. And yeah, they're fantastic vehicles. So kudos to Toyota. I'll probably be buying another Toyota, and I hope that it lasts me just like this one did.